Which continent would you choose, one border South America or one border Australia? This is another 4-player fixed card game which is being played with public lobby randoms. Settings: alliances on, balanced blitz dice rolls in 60 seconds per turn. No Australia, no win guys. Obviously by having the most of troops in it, I will be going for it. And whether I will play aggressively or passively I don't know yet, but we are going to decide that by looking to the whole situation on the board and how other players play. And while one border continents could be the best idea to guarantee holding at least something when you have enough troops to defend, my biggest worry is still 2 borders North America. This game is being played with blizzards, and while the blizzard on Venezuela made one border fewer for the South American player, at the same time it made one border fewer for the North American player too. So if the black player actually captures North America, then it would be better not anytime soon, as in case he will be able to properly guard it as well, then he could be really having the advantage. Well, all in all the balance of the game should be sustained as long as others don't fight each other, but it might be possible to invade black only by the teamwork, by 2 or 3 of us crushing some troops into his border, so we would finally be able to invade him. But I mean I probably worry too much, as I think even with only me and the South American player alive, and with the black player holding North America and getting 1 continental troop more, in overall me and the South American player should be getting more troops because of the cards, and also let's not forget the extra troops which you get by having a lot of territories, and if we too were recapturing them with back and forth with black, then I guess the black player would have the disadvantage also by us being 2. So all in all with the players playing smart the biggest issue could just be a stalemating situation, but not the domination of the black player. But as you can see the black player is playing aggressively and it's a very good sign. I like that he prevents blue from holding Europe, but on the other hand it probably make a lot of sense to him because with the black player capturing North America, the blue player would probably focus the most on invading him, another player which could become one of the strongest. Anyways, usually I would prefer to help out another player to attack someone so we would get rid of the opponents who are not really needed in the game for the balance of the game to be sustained, so the game wouldn't stalemate, but in this case with the black player being close to getting North America, I decided to not invade blue into Europe even though I easily could. With the black player already invading blue, it was likely for him to do so once again, as he knew that the blue player didn't like that he was invaded, so with still holding Europe he would have probably been targeting black, well at least if black was still going for North America, but not deciding to just put his troops to one big army somewhere in a neutral place, so with the black player still going for North America, black just had to invade blue. And as you can clearly see now, it was a really big mistake for the blue player to try expanding to Europe while not even having enough troops to properly defend one border South America. So the red player saw a good opportunity and took it. And that made the blue player to be barely alive, but that probably wasn't enough for the blue player to realize that, as then he completely self-destroyed himself by trying to capture Africa. And then it was finally my time to show some action. By all of the blue territories being made at once, I just simply took him out with all of his 4 cards. And instead of putting all of my troops to one big army on Siam, I decided to build 2 different armies on China and India instead, so at least half of my troops would be unleashed, so if anything I would be ready to act in case there's something needed for the balance of the game or if I saw some great opportunity to increase my advantage. I want that my troops would be in a position in case I get the opportunity to take someone out or if I need to attack someone so that player wouldn't become too strong, or that I would just be able to properly team up with someone on another player. And with the red player invading black into North America, so far I really enjoy being in the alliance with him. Then the black player sent me the alliance request as well, and I decided to still accept it, not because I want to team up with him on red, but because he would potentially retaliate and invade red into Africa instead of just simply deciding to become neutral, and with the red player potentially attacking the black player once again, I might be able to get a very huge advantage over them by just staying neutral that last turn. and as you can see, to stay neutral at that moment when both of my opponents were sending me the attack requests to attack each other, has really worked out. The black player obviously over self-destructed, but not only that, but also unleashed my another army, so I would be really able to take the situation into my hands. The red player was a bit smarter and only recaptured Africa instead of continuing attacking black a lot, but with both of my armies being unleashed and with me additionally having a set, either way it was still enough for me to guarantee having the unstoppable advantage. I didn't unleash the red player's biggest army, so that would obviously give me better chances to hold some of these continents, or at least get some bigger territorial troop bonus. So that was really a mistake for the red player to keep his biggest army blocked in a crucial situation like this. But oh well, the least I expected is for the red player have a 10 troop set at 3 cards. So after all, the game isn't over yet, and with me not having any set at 4 cards, I guess it equalizes our chances to win. So that was really unfortunate to me. When the game has been seen as almost won, it suddenly started to go into opposite direction. Well, looking for the bright side, at least the red player unleashed my 6 troops army from the right side so I would be easily able to invade him into Australia, and then he still left his biggest army in South America blocked, so by obviously me not unleashing it, he wouldn't be able to recapture a lot of stuff next turn, or even fail to break through some of the continents. So yeah, as you can see, with one of my armies I invaded and then even fully captured Australia, and then with another one recaptured Europe with North America. Now thinking what would be the best fortification choice. And you can see I decided to fortify 3 troops African army to Greenland, so I think it would really increase my chances to hold 1 5 troops continent. And that's awesome. The red player didn't even try to invading both of them, so that gives me a huge advantage over him. Also, it was a small mistake from me, but actually instead of fortifying these 3 troops from Africa which were unleashed, I should have had to fortify the 3 troops from Australia which were blocked. But anyways, by all of those turns passing, I still cannot believe that the red player still keeps blocking his biggest army in South America. I thought that after I was able to hold a barely guarded North America it will become obvious for him, but apparently it didn't, so I just continue taking the advantage over that. And to be honest, I see that mistake being very common when it comes to lower ranked players, to keep their armies blocked just to make sure to hold their continent, which usually it's a small one, actually Australia most of the times. But what I want to say, while you actually manage to hold your continent and get those 2 extra troops, your opponent actually manages to get even more of them, by at first getting some bigger territorial troop bonus and then even being able to hold some continents which could obviously be invaded easily if that lower ranked player didn't have his biggest army blocked.